Hello students, this is Mrs. Carla, and today we're doing fractions 26, and it is division of whole numbers by fractions. Last time we did division of fractions by whole numbers, and now we're doing it backwards, but that's just so that you get a lot of practice with the very same concept. Division is multiplication of the reciprocal, but not just any reciprocal. It is the reciprocal of the divisor. I ran out of board there. Okay, the reciprocal of the divisor. And remember yesterday I showed you that if we took A over B and we divided it by C over D, now I use letters because then they are variables and they represent any fraction, not a specific fraction. But we saw how this division of a fraction can turn into multiplication of the reciprocal, by the reciprocal of the denominator. If I multiply this division fraction by 1 in the form of the reciprocal of the denominator is D over C, D over C, and anything over itself is 1. Then when I multiply by 1, I don't change anything. But notice that now the denominator becomes 1. The denominator, this bigger fraction, becomes 1. And what am I left with? I'm left with A over B times D over C, and D over C was the reciprocal of the denominator. This is the theory why this always works. Okay, so we always flip the divisor. We get the reciprocal of the divisor and we multiply instead of division. So division by a fraction is the same as multiplication by its reciprocal. Actually, division by any number is the same as multiplication by its reciprocal. We can use this with whole numbers, fractions as well. So here we go. We're going to turn this into multiplication by the reciprocal. 5 can be written as 5 over 1 times, I'm going to use my little dot because that's what I'm used to, times, and now I'm going to take the reciprocal of 1/3, which is 3 over 1, and the answer is 15. On the next one, we're going to rewrite it as a multiplication problem. We have 30. We're going to make that 30 over 1, and that's not absolutely necessary. It's just a clarification so that you don't get confused about where your numerator and denominator are, times the reciprocal of the second number, which is 6 over 5. And notice on this one, we can help ourselves out by canceling. We have a 30 and a 5, and they both are divisible by 5 to get 6 and 1. So 6 times 6 is 36, and the answer is 36. I'm going to do one more, and then you're going to have a few to do. All right, so 17 is 17 over 1 times, we're going to take the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. On this one, there is no cancellation. 17 times 3, I put a 21 and I carry the 2, is 51 divided by 2. That is an improper fraction. But if I take 51 divided by 2, I get 25. I'm going to squish this in here. 25 and 1/2 left over. So that is the answer. Now, I'm going to draw a little line. And let's talk about the problems that I want you to do. I want you to do this one down here. 25 divided by 5 over 7. And then the right side of the board, 8 divided by 1/2. 16 divided by 2/3. 40 divided by 5/8. 24 divided by 4/7. And 36 divided by 3/4. Okay, so I want y'all to work on those, and we will be back in just a moment. So this is when you pause your video, beep, 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 and make sure that you get those done. All right, I'm back, and hopefully you did these problems. And now we're going to talk about the answers. Notice that on each one of them, I have gone ahead and written the multiplication times the reciprocal. So that's the first thing you want to check. Did you correctly turn your problem around into a multiplication problem? Okay, once you do that, you can see that over here, the 25 and the 5 will cancel with a 5 and a 1, and we wind up with 35. Hopefully, you got that one right. Okay, over here, we wind up with a 16 over 1, which is 16. And here, we've got the 16 and the 2, which will cancel, leaving us with a 24. Okay, over here, our 40 and our 5 will cancel with an 8 and a 1. Okay, so we get 8 times 8 is 64 over 1, which is 64. Then, down here, we have a 24 and a 4, which will give me, when I divide by 4, I get 6. Divide by 4, I get 1. And the answer is 42 over 1, which is 42. All right, and then the last one, we have a 36, which is 3 times 12. So we can cancel out a 3 out of both of those, and we get 12 times 4 is 48 over 1. And that is the end of fractions 26. We're moving on to fractions 27, and this is Mrs. Carla, and may God bless your day.